Hi everybody, my name is Alex Mooradian. I'm the founder and CEO of Resolve. We only have 10 minutes, so I'm gonna go really fast. Okay, so the quick story on me, I am a recovering investment banker and private equity guy. Undergraduate degree at Georgetown, Columbia Business School. Spent my first 10 years in traditional finance until one day I came home and told my wife that I hate investing in companies and that I wanted to start one. Unfortunately for me, my wife's first reaction was like, well, you don't know anything about running businesses. And I was like, no, I do. And so now I've done 3 companies. All the businesses that I've worked on in the past have been trying to address the needs of the average American. So my first business was a staffing company. My second business was helping people find their way to work in an affordable way. And the current business is trying to help the average American with their financial life. And this is my family. We live in the Bay Area, 2 kids and a wife out in Mooradian, California. So here are the quick basics on Resolve, and this is my other family. We've got a bunch of team members that are out in Oakland. We were founded in 2017. We've raised about $5 million. Our last round was led by QED out of Washington, D.C. We were part of the Financial Health Network. We won an award last year for being one of the top 50 inclusive fintech companies. We are also a public benefit corporation. And so far we've helped about 50,000 people with over $1.5 billion worth of distressed debt. And so now I'm going to quickly talk about what we actually do. So most people don't realize this, but in the US today, there are over 70 million people who are experiencing financial distress. And there's a whole host of reasons why people get into trouble. But the reality is most people are kind of walking on that cliff anyways. And all it takes is a little bit of a life event to kind of push you over the edge. And these ranges, by the way, these are people who are single moms, who are on food stamps, but frankly, entrepreneurs who've been putting hundreds of thousands of dollars of business expenses on their personal credit cards. Now, what's consistent for all these folks when you're in financial distress, it's really scary. Calls, letters, and this is a reality. If, depending on who your creditors are, the sheriff might actually show up at your front door and serve you papers. So it's a very lonely and embarrassing time. And for the folks who are experiencing distress, they're kind of subject to this world of legal and financial terms that the average person is just not really aware of. So I didn't know anything about this 3 years ago before we started the business. And if you would have asked me what charge-off meant, like I pay my credit card bills. I don't know what that term is, even though I went to business school. But these are terms that consumers that are on their own that are having to deal with and learn about every single day. And different than the folks in this room, and if you look around, probably not a lot of average Americans in this room. If you have $100,000 worth of debt and you make $50,000 a year, Charles Schwab will not return your phone call. And so you're really kind of alone. And in fact, for these folks, it really is the exact opposite. Go on to Google, type in I'm having trouble with my credit card debt. And it's littered with schemes, scams, deceptive marketing practices, really a whole host of companies that are out there that when you peel back the onion and understand how their counselors, who are really commission-based salespeople, and how they charge consumers, and how they obfuscate fees and things like that, they're really out there taking advantage of consumers. And so when you're in this problem and you're out there, you're like in shark-infested waters. And so we started this business with the goal to solve that problem. And we're still a small company, so the business is the product at this point. We don't have multiple products. But what we build is a personal financial guide out of distress, out of debt. It is a combination of both powerful technology as well as caring humans. And the reality is that these are emotional times, and so there's lots of math that have to be done, but there's also some emotional support that's required. What the platform does, and I'll show you some slides in a second, is we provide recommendations for consumers to help get them out of debt, as well as we help them implement those plans and automate as much as we possibly can. And really the most important thing about what we're doing is we're trying to do this in an affordable way. We're trying to help these consumers get out of debt, and we're giving them all of this guidance in a very unbiased way. So this is one of the home pages that we're testing. So it's all about seeing your options, getting your options. And what we do is there are really three primary paths that help a consumer get out of debt today. So there's something called a debt management plan, which helps reduce your interest rates. There's debt settlement, which allows you to settle your debts for less than you owe. And then there's the Chapter 7 bankruptcy process. And so what we try to do for consumers in a very easy way, compare and contrast those different plans. We show them the numbers, we show them the fees associated with that. We try to help them understand who those plans are good for, timelines. There's like hundreds of FAQs on each of these plans. And so we've gathered all of these disparate products and brought them together so a consumer can see all of their options right in front of them. When somebody is ready to make the decision, we try to make it simple and easy for them to move forward in the process. So with a simple click of the button, we build them a step-by-step, day-by-day action plan, walking them through every step. And as well, we've got folks that are kind of live and on the phone via email, text that are available to help them through the process. I did talk a little about the caring humans. And so as Rex had mentioned, the platform itself is free. You can talk to a counselor for free. You could have 10 conversations with a counselor for free. We do all of that. We actually make money from the partners that are fully integrated into the platform. And so when you decide to do one of the different service offerings, we've got negotiators, counselors, attorneys that are running their businesses on Resolve. We automate a lot of the process, so everything from the engagement letters to invoicing to collections. And so those folks can offer their services at a fraction of the cost of what they do outside of the Resolve platform. Equally important is we set the rules of engagement, so we tell them what they're allowed to charge, and we monitor all the success on the platform so we know who's doing well, who's not doing well, and can route consumers to the better providers to make sure that they're having a great outcome. So finally, every morning the team wakes up, and what we do is really hard. Helping consumers who are in distress with really complicated financial situations is really difficult, very emotionally charged. The average person that is on our platform makes $45,000 a year. They've got $50,000 worth of total debt and an average credit score of 530. So these people are in trouble. There's not a lot of options for us, but our team wakes up every day with the mission of how do we make these folks' lives easier. That's it. Thanks very much.